Alright, we back again. Now we talking about this book right here. Alright, all your racial problems will soon end. Alright, the cartoons of Charles Johnson. Alright, yeah, this guy, I don't believe they have a picture of him. Anyway, he's basically a Black American author. You know, he combines Buddhism with a sociological blah 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 context and stuff. He's won the I believe it's the National Book Award for his thing Middle Passages. Talks a lot about black people, da da da. But you know, I started reading some of this stuff about Buddhism. You know, because I did a little of that, and he's black and I'm black. So, but I found out that he early in his career, he was a cartoonist. Like, he started real early. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, well, this will probably be some real easy shit for me to, you know, look at and da da da. And there was various stuff out there of him, but then I found out that right here he had a combination of all of them and stuff. You know, he started when he was like in high school for his high school newspaper and kept on doing it until pretty much like when his first book got published and stuff about 1974. He's done some later stuff which emphasizes Buddhism and stuff, but I decided to take a read at it, and this was really good. As you can see, with the kind of revolutionary guy back there, it was in the 60s when he started doing this stuff, and he basically had several series. Basically, he had Half Past Nation Time, so, you know, 1960s, Lumps in the Melting Pot, freelance work, da 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 da. But apparently most of the stuff was like in this vein right here. I wish, let me go. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff about his. It was basically making fun of the racial situation. Basically, let me go up in here a little bit. There's some real funny stuff here because there's so many damn panels and stuff that just doesn't really, I don't know. Let me see. Can't really say. They're all pretty much this. I would love to. There's so much stuff here. Basically, it's pretty much just making fun of racial stuff. Sorry, don't have the stuff here, but like this thing right here, where you have this guy right here, they're a married couple, and basically they come home supposed to be making fun of, like, you know, when you stop off and you see someone delivers a family to you and it's KKK, because a lot of black people were integrating neighborhoods at the time, and boom, they get a swastika or the house to be burned down. So that was happening in the 60s. And then this little thing that was kind of making fun of the doll test, the famous doll test, where they had kids from like preschool all the way up to about 12, and it was the black doll and the white doll, and of course majority of the black kids chose the white doll. Well, here it is. Of course, the black kid chose the white doll, but the white kid chose the white doll. There's a lot of stuff up in here about race. That is, let me find something that basically, give me a moment. There's so much stuff here. Oh, here goes another one, right? Here goes one I liked, right? As you can see, you know, the old black servant did a wishbone and his wish came true, right? He switched places with the rich white guy, and the rich white guy became an old black dude, and he became a young white dude. So he got youth and money and whiteness. So he ended up being, you know, the winner in the end. There's some other racial, also like here, he would have something like this one. Like, see this guy up in the suit, and this white guy right here, and he says, "Is it that bad in the ghetto?" Basically talking about, you know, class stuff, but of course there's some ironic whiteness to it. Uh, Here goes something else. Oh, this one I love right here, right? You got this dude, this black revolutionary, right? He's up here yelling about, against, the man and the white man. Like it says, integration, hell no. The only way to freedom is through complete segregation. Show me a black integrationist and I'll show you an Uncle Tom. Yeah, rap on, brother, we hear you, right? Then he leaves through the back door and says, right? And he meets a white blonde woman and says, how'd it go tonight, Tom? Talking about the hypocrisy of the revolutionaries, which happened to be true. A lot of the revolutionaries, even now, a lot of the revolutionary dude was replaced by the Hotep brother nowadays, and it's the exact same thing. They'll talk all this stuff about, fuck white people, I'm about the black people lives, and then you turn around and not only is his woman white, all his friends is white. He lives in a white neighborhood. When he's at the job, only people he associates with and eats lunch with is white people. Yeah, hold up. I love that one. There's some more stuff up in here. No. Damn, I wish I had looked this stuff up. Sorry. I didn't have time. Here goes the one from the cover. Here goes the one. Here goes this revolutionary, and this old rich white woman says, I hear you are very militant. Right? So he's militant, but he's at this white upper crust party and stuff. So, basically that was something that was called Mau Mau Chic. I forgot the guy who coined it, but basically you had all these black people in the 60s, pretending to be da 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 da, and so the rich white people or upper middle class white people would invite them to the parties to be like, hey, look, I'm hip, I'm down, and that's what it's about. It's called Mau Mau Chic. Man, there's some other stuff here that I'm thinking of, but I just can't find it. Give me a moment. There was one here. Right. Let me keep for that one. Let me see. Give me a moment. Because it's back here, but I can't really remember. Here goes one. Contemporary right now. Here's this rich black person in his mansion, and it says, Black Revolution. What Black Revolution? Basically, there's no Black Revolution for him because he's rich. So he doesn't relate. He's like, whatever. Saying how like not everybody was really down because not everybody was doing bad. God, there's one. It's like two of them together and stuff. But let me try to find this. It's really because I really want to get y'all, the let me see up in here. Let me see. Yeah, sorry I didn't have this prepared. But it's really profound if I find it. Yeah, sorry, I can't find it. Damn, I think this is it. Yeah, I can't find it. It's so much stuff up in here. Basically, a lot of it. Yeah, basically, it's pretty much just a bunch of humor, racial humor about the revolutionary times. Some of it is class orientated, like this one right here. Like it says, hello, Des. It's about the roaches, right? Because he's living in so much poverty, and the roaches are pissed off, they rebel. So that could be kind of like the roaches of black people. He's the white man, and stuff. Ah, man, there's another one up in here. There's another one up in here. Oh, here goes one where the guy says he's just got through with the battle. He says, "I sure hope your aim is better than when the revolutionary comes." Basically, making fun of revolutionaries, There's another one up in here. Oh, here goes another one. Where he says, "Nation time, wasn't exactly the answer I was looking for, Eddie." Right? Basically kind of making fun of how basically all the revolution became like fashion, where it interfered with because like a lot of kids now, when they're teaching, people are teaching, the teachers complain about they don't write out words. They just use the little acronyms, the 3-letter acronyms that kids use when they text people and stuff. So it's kind of parallel with that. But instead of like technology and social media, everything was cool to be revolutionary. There's another one up in here that talks about sex, but I just can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Give me a moment. I will find it. What the hell is this? No, that's not it. I'm sorry, I can't find it. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, it's a. I don't know where the hell it is at. It is up in here somewhere. Sorry, that's another thing because you guys it is. Damn, I can't find it. I am so sorry. I just can't find it because I should have looked beforehand. But come on. Because it's really funny because it's a sex joke and you all will love it. Hold on. Alright, so I paused the thing real quick, but I'm real back. Here goes another thing talking about sexual stereotypes. Okay. Right, here goes one right here where it says, "But I never expected you to be sexually superior, dear." Making fun of the whole thing that black dudes have big penises and supposed to be really good sexual in bed. Right? And he's with his white woman. Boom, so sexual, make fun of that. Right? And here goes something where he co-ops, I believe that's Robinson Crusoe, where he's caught on an island and the guy, I forgot his name, and he says, "From now on, you can refer to me as Friday X." So basically, that's pretty much the thing. He's making fun of the times and he's projecting the current revolutionary times back into famous Western stories and political incidents and stuff. So pretty much, this is pretty much like kind of political racial humor and stuff. So it was really, really funny. And I really I could tell that he was already practicing Buddhism because Buddhism lends itself to absurd comedy, and a lot of this is absurd comedy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because, all this categories and stuff are basically made up. And yeah, he kind of makes it up and it's really funny. I can go on and on and on, but I pretty much showed you all the stuff, yeah, so, nowadays it probably wouldn't work, because everyone's so tense and it's really PC now. But I really like, like from the 60s to the 70s, okay, so he's making fun of all the racial politics and stuff and da-da-da. But what I really like at the end, right, he basically adds in some stuff. Like he kind of still makes fun of the racial stuff and how it just continues. Like in this thing right here, like he is talking about Octavia Butler, and it says, "Oh no, we don't want to meet your leader. We just came for the Octavia Butler book party," right? Kind of making fun of like celebrity and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I really love it because Octavia Butler, I've read most of her books except for Kindred, so I got to get back and reread those books, especially get Kindred and talk to y'all about that. But yeah, talks about how this alien, a lot of people would think, oh, when the aliens come here to Earth, the first thing they're going to be is wanted to look to our leader and talk to them and get down to business and da da da. But they may be up there, receiving our TV and radio and computer, internet, social media signals, and they're just like, oh, well, screw y'all leaders. We're fans of that person right there. We want to meet them. They may react like us. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of makes fun of power too. But like I was saying, I really liked all that, but I really, so it really kind of presages his, Buddhist practice. But I like at the end panels, he has a lot of stuff where he's actually making fun of Buddhism. So that lets me know that he has a, in his older age, he got a lot of humor. Like here it says, like here, right, where it says, we have this guy in a, he's a skeleton, and the other guy is still alive. And he says, "All right, you can fast longer than me." Right now, in Buddhism, you're not supposed to be craving like that, trying to one up someone. But it shows how, in the folly of that, how you're still human, and it can be turned into, even though you're trying to, fast longer. That's something that you do when you get really into your beliefs. But here, instead of looking for enlightenment, he's just competing. So he falls short of what he's supposed to be, which can happen in Buddhism, all right. I don't like that one. Here goes another one where this guy's up on the hill and his mother comes and he says, "What's wrong with you? Dorothy's son reached enlightenment. Janice's son reached enlightenment. Sophia's son," and she's basically complaining still, even though he's, trying to reach the Buddhist path. He's trying to reach enlightenment. Instead, his mom comes up and demands, and she makes it to a competition, what it's not supposed to be. He can reach enlightenment at his own time. Which is really funny, which is like, well, you've detached yourself from the world, you've gone to this mountain, thrown away everything, trying to reach enlightenment. Instead, your mom comes up and still a bitch. Here goes something where this guy says, "Do you have cards of congratulations for those who have just attained enlightenment?" Right? Yeah, I mean, that's just so funny, because even though it's just supposed to just be, people are still cordial, because that's the way, even though it's supposed to let go of all that, people are still being cordial and putting, instead of buying him a gift, they're like congratulating him. We're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's funny. Here go ones where this guy, he says, "You sure you at the right retreat?" Basically, here goes this Christian right next to this Buddhist, and it's like they're both kind of going for the same thing, but he comes to the wrong place, so that's kind of funny. But at the same time, it says, hey, different paths all trying to reach the same goal. So here goes one where this parakeet is right next to this guy, and he's going om, which is supposed to say, that's the holy mantra of the universe and stuff that's supposed to help you. And even though he's saying it for enlightenment, it shows how the parrot is just saying it just because he's imitating. So it's like, is it really that special if a parrot, because parrots can memorize the sounds of human speech and repeat back phrases to you, but they actually don't understand it. So it's like, okay, can he reach enlightenment too? So is it really worth going for enlightenment? So here goes one. Oh, this one I love. It says, Superman's right up there next to the guy who's finding enlightenment, and he goes, "How can I conquer my ego?" You know, it's kind of like you're like Superman. You're the most of men. You're like Nietzsche's most of men, but you're talking about how you can conquer your ego. Like, how can you when you're like the superlative? You know, and but he still knows he has greater things to accomplish. Here goes something. Oh, here goes something which kind of I like this. It is Albert Einstein, right? And the guy goes, "Sorry, kid, I direct all questions about string theory to him." You know, it's like he's admitting that he has, you know, he doesn't have all the answers and stuff, and he knows who is. So he's like humble enough to say, "Hey, you know, pass him on." Um, Here goes one. I'm not really saying it's the best, but it says, you know, you got these two Buddhist monks right there, and it says, "All I know is that too much one-pointedness can make you really tired." Basically, he's talking about one-pointedness is basically pointing towards your goal and stuff, and he's basically saying being focused, trying to reach your goal is very tiring. So, you know, so that's a little thing. So, yeah, so that's, you know, all your racial problems will soon end. Basically, these are like the greatest hits of his cartoons, because there are other collections just by themselves, but this is kind of like the best of. So, yeah, and it's really refreshing, because I read a lot of nonfiction books, so I'm gathering knowledge. And then lately I've been reading a lot of stuff on religion and philosophy, which and then especially the mystical part of religion, especially Eastern religion, which is way more mystical than Western religion. And so this was like something that's been a nice kind of break from it. And I like really the humor. And this really takes me back to the time in the 60s when, things were kind of, even though things were changing, radicals were happening. He also, with humor, showed how there was hypocrisy then, how stuff was racial categories and class categories, age, all the rest of that was ridiculous. And he deals with it with humor. You know what I'm saying? His early stuff in high school, you could tell it really wasn't that good. Not just the drawing, but just the humor and stuff. And you can see like there's a progression as he gets older and older and older, how he gets more mature, gets more seasoned in his profession, and how he's lived life more, and how he's able to make fun of things a little bit more. And that's kind of good to see that progression. And especially at the end, where you see all of a sudden his panels go from making fun of racial things from the 60s and 70s, that time of transition, of integration. Basically, he's making fun of the integration that was happening. To basically later on, even though from what I know, he had been practicing Buddhism in some form, fashion, or another since basically college, late college. It's really good to see him later on talk about his faith, because that's what kind of attracted me to him, because I've done a little Buddhism in my past too. And how he was able to even make fun of that, because a lot of people in the West basically make all the Eastern religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, and as these sacred, superior things. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they're kind of not. They're religions just like any other religion. It has its good points and bad points too. Like I've known, because I've read a lot of this stuff. I've been in the communities, I've been to Hindu temples, Buddhist temples, Vedanta temples and stuff. And yeah, they got people there that are assholes just like in the church or the mosque or the synagogue. And I like how at the end he basically made fun of it. I wish he had more humor like that, making fun of Buddhism, because like I subscribe to like Buddhist Humor 2.0 on Facebook. So I love reading that, how you make fun of this thing that's basically in the West portrayed as this perfect thing and more superior to religion than ours. But then you look at it and you find out no, like they have scandals just like the Catholic priest scandal where they were having sex with underage boys. There's scandals there where they, been having sex with the women there, or they've been stealing money. A lot of people don't know that about, Buddhism. So I wish I saw more of that humor, You know what I'm saying? And any other human that didn't have to deal with all the racial tension that happened in the 60s and 70s. He also has a book coming up that's also in. It's also going to be. It's going to be a. What's it called? A graphic novel. Hold up. Sorry about that. I need to. Oh yes, it's going to be called The Eightfold Path. So I'm going to try to look for that, and I'll read it, and I'm going to try to see. Hopefully, he has a lot of Buddhist humor in there, and we'll go to the absurdity and basically knock Buddhism off of its high path. And I will review that. So I'm looking forward to find it, see if the library will get it in. This one is from 2022. So the Eightfold Path that he's doing with a black science fiction author called Steve Barnes. I'm also looking for some of his books. Who I didn't know. I did not know that he was Buddhist. So basically, they're co-authoring it. It's a forthcoming graphic novel. So like I said, this is 2022. So basically, it should be coming out this year, 2023. I might even come back and read this again because, like I said, I ain't gonna lie. Even though bulk of it was kind of on the racial humor and stuff, that did get tiring a little bit, especially at the beginning when he really didn't know himself enough to really do good stuff. But as it progressed, it got a lot better. His Buddhist humor, I hope he comes like with the Eightfold Path. It looks like that's going to be something explaining Buddhism, but I hope he has humor in it. I hope he does go back to this and do some Buddhist humor and maybe do some, cartoons. One panel cartoons like this, these are things that critique society, and I hope he goes back to, or hope he has other compilations where he's done that, because he's very good. Forget the drawings and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just the humor itself, you know what I'm saying, is very good. I like it. I'm gonna look and try to find more comics of him and see if I can get to him. But that Eightfold Path thing, yeah. So that's it. I highly recommend this. It's very funny. It makes fun of a time in the 60s and 70s when all the radical stuff, the racial integration stuff was coming in, and he looks at the political, racial, and the class situation. And then later on, he talks about his faith and makes fun of his faith. So highly recommend this. Go to a library just like I did, get it, and enjoy it. All right, later.